Hello and welcome to The Outlook.
My name is Anya and I'm here with Olivia, Catherine, Maddie, Juliana, and Veronica. Veronica, why don't you get us started today?
So lately, immigration has been the front burner in our society. We see it come up in the news and in conversation, yet we tend not to understand the subject. So I decided to read a book called Tell Me How It Ends, an Essay in 40 Questions by wonderful writer Valeria Lucielli. And she goes in depth into the corruption in our immigration system through a personal lens. And guess what, audience? Everyone's going to get a free book tonight.
Woo!
Yes, we all read the book and we think it's genuine and eye-opening. I loved it because it focused on the questions a child and an interpreter upon arrival in the United States answer. This book helps the audience better understand the reasoning for the child coming to the U.S. and to hopefully keep them from getting deported.
Valeria Lucelli, the author of the book, writes in first person and tells the stories of some of these children who she's interpreted for. What's really interesting is how she also weaves in her own stories, being a Mexican American who struggled for her own green card.
Yeah, the 40 questions that are in here are an actual 40 question
Questionnaire?
pamphlet. Yeah, questionnaire that they use, that the lawyers use to determine whether the kids are able to stay in the United States.
Yeah, what's messed up about the situation, though, is the entire process of how the kids get here and then the steps that they have to take to stay.
Yeah, for instance, the child that comes illegally to the United States and wants to stay here as a citizen has to pay for their own defense lawyers. And oftentimes, if these are kids less than 10 years old. I mean, how are they going to do that?
Yeah.
Whereas criminals in the United States get free trial. Where is the justice?
There is no justice.
I think the problem is that we're still treating them like numbers instead of as children like they are.
When did we as a nation start seeing children as criminals when all they wanted was a chance at the American dream?
And that's exactly what one of the things the New York Times article talks about. It's like asking the question, why aren't they just immediately deported? And that is totally the wrong focus. We should be focusing on what they had to do in order to get here. Like the saying goes, it's about the journey, not the destination that matters.
You're exactly right. Guardians send their children across the country with a coyote, paid person to help them get across the U.S.-Mexico border. But really, the dangers of traveling are so much more trouble than they're worth. We have some statistics about immigration here. Let's look at them. So, 80% of the women and girls that immigrate from Mexico to the U.S. get raped. 120 migrants are missing. 72 are reportedly murdered, including boys and girls. The number of reported abductions and kidnappings in just 6 months during 2010 was, listen to this, 11,333.
It's
Oh
so
my gosh.
wrong.
Those are crazy numbers.
And it's not like it gets easier for them once they make it across the border. They instantly start looking for border control so they can get some sort of assistance from the government, and the government doesn't even assist them in the first place.
And so this is when people like Valeria, volunteer interpreters, step in and try to make sure the children have a fair trial. But there's a line between the translation of the stories that children tell and the interpretation of them. How do the interpreters know when they cross the line?
And so it isn't the job of the translators, like the author of this book, Valeria, to decide what details are important to leave in or out. They just translate and they write down everything credible, non-credible, worthy of a defense case or not. And then the lawyers go in and try to build the case using the details as best they can.
Right, that's very true. And not many children even end up getting lawyers for the trials because the government won't provide them with a free one since they're not U.S. citizens.
So how does the story end?
Well, as the book says, I don't know how it ends.